Hi there, I'm Professor Blackmore, and I want to welcome you back to my channel and to another episode in my ProfessorBlackmore.com eTrial Notebook podcast series. And today, I want to talk to you with renewed energy around the PDF version and the OneNote version of my eTrial Notebook template. Now, I originally created this eTrial Notebook template in OneNote to eliminate the need to print out hundreds of pages of documents, excluding actual trial exhibits that don't necessarily need to be printed to successfully conduct the trial. And that is because OneNote was always linked to OneDrive, enabling the ability to add all types of media to a particular OneNote notebook, which are immediately uploaded to OneDrive, causing anything that is added to immediately be synced throughout the OneDrive cloud storage, making it accessible on all versions of OneNote. So, anyone who is sharing the notebook will have access to all real-time changes, and they can access the information on their Samsung, iPhone, or iPad using the online version of OneNote, or on their desktop or laptop using the desktop version of OneNote. But these days, all of the Microsoft applications, such as Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, etc., are synced in OneDrive, and quite frankly, anything on your desktop can be configured to sync through OneDrive. And so, with this in mind, I've also created a PDF printable version of my eTrial Notebook template as well for those attorneys who just can't vision their work being performed in the cloud. Because as you can see here, any folders or documents listed in your OneDrive are synced in your OneDrive cloud storage as well. So you can log into your OneDrive and drag and drop documents into it, which will then make them accessible to all members of your team through the cloud, or you may configure your files so that everything on your desktop automatically syncs back and forth as documents are modified, so all of your team members will have access to all real-time changes. Now, one of the reasons that my eTrial Notebook is so popular is because it helps you to organize your case for trial from the moment the new case is established in your law office, so that when the time comes to go to trial, most of the work is already completed, because each section of the template includes instructions for your office staff to follow, and because most attorneys have standard items that they will want in all of their trial notebooks, so it is efficient to have a standard template. Now, along with their purchase, you will also receive a copy of the ProfessorBlackmore.com eTrial Notebook Workbook, which explains the philosophy of each section included in the eTrial Notebook template. In addition, many of the forms needed for a standard personal injury case are included in the eTrial Notebook template. But a full listing of all of the forms, including those ones that are not included in the template, can be found in section 1 of the eTrial Notebook template, and any of those forms are also available for purchase on my website. And so I've also provided a link in the description section below. Now, the PDF version of my OneNote eTrial Notebook template was made using PowerPoint, and so I've also included the PowerPoint version as well, so that you can delete sections that are not applicable to your case or that are not applicable to your style of trial presentation. And you can even move sections around and create your own standard template that you can use efficiently to create eTrial notebooks for your subsequent trials. Now, each section of the eTrial Notebook starts with instructions, so that if you have staff members in your office helping you to construct your trial notebook, then they'll be able to use the instructions to make sure that all of your litigation objectives for the trial are met, and so all of the subsequent sections and subsections are completed far in advance of your next trial without the trial lawyer having to stop and direct every aspect of the preparation. Now, in this episode, I want to start by talking about my sample automobile bicycle collision case, Winters v. Ramirez. And as you can see here on the traffic collision report, plaintiff Suzanne Winters was riding her bicycle on Homer Street, and defendant Mario Ramirez was driving his automobile on Main Street. Now, as you can see more clearly here on this diagram, there are stop signs on Homer Street, but Main Street does not have any stop signs or traffic signals. In addition, the plaintiff's, Miss Winters' neighbor, Lisa Oshima, was standing right here across the intersection of Homer and Main Street. And so, I will refer to this sample case to demonstrate aspects of the e-trial notebook as we proceed throughout these episodes. But, as you can imagine, we will possibly have certain exhibits, such as the accident collision report, this diagram, medical records, property damage estimates, etc. And in a case like this, you might also have deposition transcripts from the parties, deposition transcripts from third-party witnesses like the plaintiff's neighbor, Miss Oshima, and the police officer, as well as deposition transcripts from the plaintiff's experts and the defendant's expert witnesses. But when you look at a glance at the contents of the Professor Blackmore e-trial notebook template by looking at the index, you can see how the e-trial notebook template is set up. But when it's time to actually go to trial, you may find that you don't want to include all of these sections, and you may want to add additional sections. Like here in this template, it includes a section for deposition summaries. But some attorneys may want to add a section to include actual deposition transcripts, where they may want to include the condensed transcripts of each deposition. Now, as stated earlier, the PDF version comes with the original PowerPoint version as well. So you can simply go into the PowerPoint version and remove and/or add sections as desired to achieve your own desired template. Now, for the OneNote version, you can simply make a copy of the template when you receive it, so you want to not modify the original template. Then you can modify the copy that you've now made to make the desired template to suit your particular trial presentation style. And I show you how to do this in this particular episode of my e-trial notebook automation podcast series. And I will place a direct link to this podcast episode in the description section below. Now, when I come back in the next episode of this podcast series, I will demonstrate some of the things you'll find in section 1 of the ProfessorBlackmore.com e-trial notebook template, which is the plan section, as well as some practical uses using our sample case, Winters versus Ramirez. But in the meantime, if you might consider constructing and using your own e-trial notebook, the OneNote version, or even the PDF version at your next trial, or if you have any questions, please let me know by leaving your questions or comments in the comments section below. And if you found these tips useful, I hope you'll also give me a big thumbs up. And I hope you'll also consider donating to this episode and my entire channel by donating to the Professor Blackmore Cash App, or leave a super chat or a super thanks. In addition, I hope you'll also subscribe to my YouTube channel and then set your notifications so you'll be notified whenever I come back with more law office productivity and e-trial notebook law office automation and paralegal tips. And if you'd like to purchase a copy of my e-trial notebook template, the OneNote version or the PDF version, please visit me on my website at ProfessorBlackmore.com, and I'll place a link in the description section of this episode. And please also follow me on TikTok,